Hello again, legends. Just now, I've explained the greatest secret ever told and how does it work. Now let's place that secret into work. Remember that homework I gave you last episode, which is supposed to be done by now? I want you to turn these results into a practical test. We will go through the test that will last 30 days. It isn't going to be easy, but I guarantee you, if you give it a good try, it will completely change your life for the better. Newton's third law of motion states that for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. Simply stated, as it applies to normal human beings, that we can achieve nothing without paying the price. The results of those 30 days experiment will be in direct proportion to the effort you put forth. To be an engineer, an individual has to pay the price of long years of difficult studies. To be successful in teaching, and remember that each of us succeed to the extent of his ability to teach and influencing our families with our ideas, influencing our marketing, education in schools, influencing children on the advantages of living the good and honest life, influencing our associates and employees on the importance of being exceptional people. However, to be able to influence correctly and completely our way to the good life we all dreamt about, we must be willing to pay the price. And the question is, what is that price? I will provide you with the answer in a moment, but let me remind you of the most important point I mentioned in the first episode. We become what we think about. So that dear price is understanding emotionally as well as intellectually that we literally become what we think about. We have to control our thoughts in order to control our lives. Second, it's cutting away all fears from the mind and permitting it to rise through the issues and through mountains. You have to understand that one limitation are only imposed by oneself, and the opportunities available in this generation are beyond enormous. Discard the narrow mind, the hate, the jealousy, the prejudice. Don't let your mind play games with you. Force yourself to think positively. Set a definite goal and execute. Goals without executions are useless. Let your mind think about that goal from all possible angles. Use your imagination to go through this task. Imagination is one of those free gifts we have. We can do wonders with. Let your imagination and your mind direct you through the goals, and you just have to follow through. Let your imagination speculate freely upon many different possible solutions. Decide to refuse any negative and decide that there is no circumstances strong enough to defeat you in your accomplishment of that goal, of that purpose. And fourth, save at least 15 to 20% of every dollar you earn. In addition, understanding that no matter what your present job is, it has massive opportunities if you're willing to pay the price. So let's go over the points. Explain to comprehend the price each of us must pay to achieve the wonderful life that should be ours, that offer can be ours. It's of course worth any price. 1. You will become what you think about. 2. Remind yourself of the wonderful word imagination and open a window in your mind and begin to wonder. 3. The courage to save 15 to 20% of every dollar you earn. And 5. Action. Ideas are worthless unless you follow it with action. Now, let's try to make a plan for the next 30 days. I want you to remember that you have nothing to lose by making this test and everything you can possibly gain. There are 2 things that is inside everyone. Each one of us wants a few things, and each one of us is afraid of things. I want you to take a small piece of notebook and write down what is it you want more than anything in the world. It may be money, perhaps you would like to increase your income or make a definite amount of money. It may be an astonishing home you would like to live in. It may be a success in the job. It may be a specific position to get married and build a beautiful, strong family. Each one of us wants something. Now, write down on that card precisely what is it you want. Make sure it's a solo goal and clearly defined. Don't mix it up with other goals because you will lose the focus we're trying to attain in this exercise. Carry it with you so that you can look at it several times a day. Make sure you look at every time you look at it. Every time you need that focus back. Every morning, every afternoon, and every evening. For example, I have mine glued to the wall above the PC screen. In my car where I can clearly see it every time I drive, and in my laptop bag where I carry all my notebooks and my study books. Make sure to attach it where you can look at it before you go to sleep. Remember that you must become what you think about, and since you're thinking about your goal, so you can own it, in fact, it's yours truly. The moment you write it down and begin to think about it, and remember, you see all those beautiful things around us, success, wealth, business, you must understand that we have as much right to this wealth and success as any other living creatures out there. Now, let's speak about the challenging part. I call it challenging because as a human being, building a new habit, it means new formation of mind. Brand new habits means you need to focus for more than a few days to build a habit. Building a habit is a very difficult task. Habits can be formed by following those 3 steps. First, reminder, where I said earlier to write your goal on a notebook and a note card and attach it everywhere. Second, routine, that is where your action goes. Third, reward, the benefit you gain from doing the habit. When this habit is formed, it will follow you for the rest of your life. Stop thinking about what is it you fear. Every time a fearful or negative thought comes into your mind, replace it with a mental picture of your positive and worthy goal. Sometimes, when you feel like giving up, it's easier for a human being to think negatively than positively. It's easier for a human being to quit than keep fighting. We are built like that. And that's why only 5% are successful. You must begin now to place yourself in that group. For 30 days, you must take control of your mind and your life. Permit your mind to think only about positive. Each day in these 30 days, do more than any other day in your life. Go about it as you never done it before. Hustle like you never hustled before. Work harder than any other day you worked before. In addition to maintaining cheerful and positive attitude, give of yourself more than you're ever done before. Do this knowing that when you put out what will be directly equal to what you get back. Don't concern yourself too much with how you're going to accomplish your goal. Leave that completely to a power greater than yourself. All you have to do is know where you're going, create, build, invent. The answers will come to you on their own and in the right time. Remember these words from Charlotte Manson. It takes a few weeks of work to build a new habit. Once the habit is in place, it must be guarded diligently and to prevent the reversion to the old ways. But keeping watch is not stressful or difficult once the new habit is secure. She also said, habits of mind become physical reality on brain tissue. And that's why habits is so powerful. It isn't all in the mind, it's physical too. Jim Ryan says, motivation is what gets you started. Habits is what keeps you going. Also, these are the habits the highly effective, successful people built and followed. Number 1, begin with the end in mind. Number 2, strive to simplify versus organize. Number 3, embrace the idea of less is more. Number 4, learn to value margin in your life. Number 5, value experiences over things. Number 6, establish habits, routines, and rituals. Number 7, understand that you are different and that's okay. And that is as simple as that. In fact, it's so simple that our complicated society, it's difficult for an adult to understand that he only needs a purpose and faith. Devote your 30 days test to completely giving of yourself without thinking about receiving anything in return, and you will be amazed at the difference it makes your life. No matter what your job is, do it as you've never done it before. And if you kept your goal before you every day, you'll wonder and marvel at this new life you found. J.K. Rowling is the brand creator, one of the most popular books and film franchise in history. Outstanding writer and former English teacher, she already built her own success story with sincerity and faith, and her life was changed to one of the overwhelming success. She said, anything is possible if you got enough nerve. Now you make your success story and start creating it right now. Don't start your test until you've made up your mind to stick with it. This is called persistent, and by being persistent, you're indicating faith. It's that simple. If you don't have faith, you will never persist. If for any reason you should fail during first 30 days, by that I mean find yourself overcome by negative thoughts, you have to start over again from the beginning and go 30 more days. I believe when you finally graduate, finishing these challenging 30 days, your new habit will form. Keep on creating and sticking with habits until you find yourself one of those wonderful minority to whom virtually nothing is impossible. And remember, you are standing in your own acres of gold, but you just don't see it yet. And don't forget the note card. It's enormously important as you begin this new way of living. On one side of the card, write your goals, whatever it may be, and the other side, write the motivational thought that will get you going every day. Habits of mind become physical reality on brain tissue, and that is why habit is so powerful. It isn't all in the mind, it's physical too. Create, build, invent, and everything else will come by its own accord.